Welcome, everyone, to our community, our money, the entrepreneur in you. My name is Germaine Washington, and today we have a wonderful show with Mr. Moses Aku, who is the co-founder and CEO of Common Cookery, which is an experience for the transnational and diaspora eater. The company is a new and innovative way to dine and experience multicultural cuisine. So stay tuned. This will be a great show. Moses, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Moses, so I want you to tell me exactly how Common Cookery works. Because I don't know about the concept and our audience doesn't know anything. So explain what that is for us.
It's really easy, right? Common Cookery was set up to provide independent restaurants that cater to diaspora eaters with well-priced and more efficient kitchen spaces, as well as an online platform that will allow for easier ordering and pickup. So there are two sides to us. We have actual physical facilities we're looking to develop to lease out to these small independents. And then we also have an online platform we're building where they can fulfill delivery orders as well as pick up orders really easily.
Moses, what you're actually saying is that Common Cookery has brick and mortar locations where I can come in and dine and have access to multinational cuisine? Or are you saying that it's a place that delivers the food out to people? Please explain, because this is such a new concept.
Exactly. It's a very, very good question. I'm sure quite a number of your audience out there, they've heard the term ghost kitchen or cloud kitchen, right? So a ghost kitchen is literally a physical facility that has no customer-facing storefront. It is solely designed for restaurants to set up their to-go fulfillment side of the business. So they lease a little space, right? It could be anywhere from 2 to 400 square feet, you name it. And they set up their restaurant online on one of these delivery platforms you're familiar with, like your Grubhub, and they operate out of there. And there is no dining, there is no seating. All they're doing is just producing food. So when you order through Grubhub or DoorDash, it's made in that location, and then it's just delivered out to you. Some of them incorporate pickups as well. So you can also come and pick it up, but you absolutely cannot sit down.
Wonderful. So that's so interesting. So how does the audience know all the different types of restaurants that are associated with you and the types of food that they can actually order, and how do they get to you to get their order in and then have the food brought to them?
So for us, our core focus is what you call restaurants that cater to diaspora eaters, right? So we live in Houston. One of five, Houstonians speaks another language other than English at home, right? So we're all pretty much a large diaspora community. We've built a relationship with 400 different small restaurants that will be live on our portal once it's up and running at the end of July. So you can find it once we really go live, and you go on commoncookery.com and you can see all the various restaurants that partner with us, and you could place your orders and it would arrive at your home just like Santa Claus does on Christmas Eve.
Wow, that is so, so cool. I love it. So, Moses, how did you come up with this idea? I mean, it's so different it's different that is unique in all the different types of food that you can have. What made you come up with this?
I was just looking at giving us the opportunity to have a digital presence. So this ghost kitchen concept, right, is being embraced by your bigger chains like the Chick-fil-A's. And the whole idea behind it is for restaurants to be able to operate cost efficiently. It dawned on me that in our own target demographic, nobody was offering this to us, right? So I was really terrified that all I could see when I look in the corner is the Chipotle or only Pizza Hut. So I thought about, why don't I offer the same optimized facility to these smaller independents who operate on lower margins to begin with anyway, so they can actually reach new markets, test new concepts, grow their business, and actually be able to sell that authentic cuisine to the rest of Houston and hopefully the US as we begin to expand as well.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to getting online and trying out some Dominican food. Hopefully, you have some.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I have a couple of those lined up.
Moses, is this your first business venture? Or if not, what other businesses have you had?
I'm the son of an entrepreneur, so it's kind of baked into my blood. My first business venture, believe it or not, right, was a Nollywood distribution business before it became popular. For those of you who don't know what Nollywood is, right, the Nigerian movies that are all over the place now, right, that people cannot get enough of. Believe it or not, I had a full production outfit. I had actual distribution license with producers from all the way back in Nigeria, and I was distributing them to local African stores in the DC, Maryland area. And I don't know why I did stick to it at that time, given that it's blown up now. But at the time, it was a real niche business.
Thank you for that interesting story. When we return from our break, we're going to continue this wonderful discussion with Mr. Moses Aku, and we're going to continue our discussion. So I want everyone to remember to check out the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program under the Entrepreneurial Initiatives Department. They continue to have cohorts in 2020 online. They're continuing with their classes. You can get all of the information about this at www.htcs/smallbusiness. So see if you qualify. We'll be right back.
Meet Saskia. She loves cars. Seriously, she whistles at them. So she's studying engineering at Houston Community College. After that, a 4-year degree. Then it's off to the races. HCC, for everyone, anytime.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to continue this wonderful conversation about common cookery with Mr. Moses Aku. Before the break, I want to know, can you give me a day in the life of the CEO of Common Cookery? Because I'm sure that you're like super busy with everything that you're trying to do, from the physical locations to the cloud kitchens to getting the website up and running. Can you give me a day in your life of what you do?
In short, a day in my life revolves around strategic planning and execution. So what does that mean? Reading, researching, writing, right? So I usually start 6 a.m. in the morning reading, gaining intel by going through industry publications, checking news, checking social media, see what is happening in the food service space, as well as in the e-commerce space. And I take notes. I religiously take those notes. By 7:30, I'm usually in my first meeting. So those meetings can be meetings with investors, vendors that I've been seeking or we're working with, or customers, or even just my development and advisory teams. And in those meetings, we really try to make them as productive as possible, right? So I could be in a meeting for an hour to an hour and a half, even like, okay, this is a strategy. We've come up with it. Let's do it right now. So it's really a work session, right? And we get it, we execute it, and then we document everything because we always want to have those lessons learned, right? For each of the meetings we have. And then I'm just hitting the road. It could be virtually, it could be physically practicing social distances with my mask, and meeting clients, meeting customers, meeting investors, you name it.
Wonderful.
Builders, it varies from day to day, but it's largely meetings.
To piggyback on what you're saying and to continue in that vein, what organizations are you a part of that help you grow your business in the community? Like, are you a part of any type of associations or organizations that help you get the word out about Common Cookery?
Two key organizations. I don't think I could have even gotten anywhere without their assistance. One is the HCC Office of Entrepreneurship. That office is extremely valuable. I think it's severely underrated in the Houston community. There's a lot that department has to offer that a lot of entrepreneurs are not taking advantage of, in my own opinion. They've really been valuable. That office too connected me to all the other groups in Houston, like the Greater Houston Partnership and SCORE, that have really helped in developing the Common Cookery vision along the way from when I was just ideating to now I'm actually looking at physical kitchen spaces and building the platform in real time, do the stuff that I really want to do. Those two organizations have really been key to the Common Cookery journey. And then I've also used the access they've given me to connect with the local Greater Houston Partnership. They're vital. The incubators that are in the city, the Houston Exponential and the Canon, those are valuable resources that any aspiring entrepreneur can tap into. But really, HCC and SCORE, you guys have all those networks that connect everywhere. So
Yes.
as I went around the city, you all seem to come back to HCC. So
Yes, we do. And you know what? We want to help. That's why we have this show. That's why we do what we do, because we want to help as many entrepreneurs as possible. And now I'm going to move
right.
to the marketing strategy that you have for your business, because marketing is so important. And a lot of people don't realize how important marketing is to the overall business. And since you have a different, unique business perspective where you're dealing with the businesses themselves that go out and provide the food service, what is your marketing strategy? How do you get these customers?
Oh, I would tell you, for us, it's really been vital building relationship with community groups. Like you said, right, we're really a B2B and a B2C company, right? B2B meaning our clients are other businesses. And then obviously the front-facing e-commerce part, right, is public-facing, public customers. But with those B2B relationships, you need a market, you need a network within all these various association groups all over the place to even get to engage businesses that are looking to work with you. That's been vital with us. We really focused on developing the relationship with the community. We don't make it up. We let them tell us what their needs are, what their pain points are, what is working, what is not working, and we listen. And based on that is how we build our strategy, right? And even our products and our services to make sure that it really caters to their needs. The other thing is social media is huge. It's a major, major tool. Don't underestimate it, right? There are groups, there are networks you can really connect with on social media that are making things happen as we speak. Connect with those networks. If you have a special interest in any industry, look for social media groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, right, that are heavily engaged in that area, and connect with them.
Thank you for that. I mean, that's unique. So tell me about what type of advice you would give to future entrepreneurs who are wanting to start a business and they're afraid to step out there. Give me the runaround from the idea to the funding to putting it together, the implementation, because it seems like a huge task for a lot of our budding entrepreneurs. What advice do you give them starting their business?
I would say when you're starting with the ideating process itself, don't silo yourself off.
Mm-hmm.
Run it by as many people as possible. I would say professional networks as possible, right? figure out early if there is even a market need for the idea, right? It goes back to that saying where everybody's mom thinks you're the cutest kid on the planet, right? Everybody's that way about their ideas. You know, go out there early, test it, ask questions, poll people, right? Say, look, does this work? Get into focus group. HCCs, they do it, where you can even table your idea and say, okay, is this viable? After that, start building networks. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't stick to only the friends or the professional network that you were raised in. Go out, attend networking sessions across the cities between Houston Exponential, HCC, U of H, Greater Houston Partnerships, all the chambers of commerce. They have all these events happening all over the city. Attend them, network, see what is out there, test your ideas even within these groups as well, right? And then as far as the implementation itself goes, be prepared to adapt. See, for us, our common cookery, for instance, right, we wanted to get the physical kitchens built up right away, fill them up with customers, and put up the digital platform. But when COVID hit, we knew we had to adapt because our customers are struggling to stay open, right? So what did we do? We've engaged them, wanted to encourage them. We're putting up the digital platform instead, first and foremost, so that they can even begin to sell what they presently have before we now move them into physical spaces. So that is key when you're ideating, test it early, and get feedback and listen to the feedback.
We're going to continue with this conversation, and we'll be back after the break. So we want to remind everyone that the Entrepreneurial Initiative Department has so many unique areas under the department to reach students, communities, and entrepreneurs. There are so many opportunities and resources available in the Entrepreneurial Initiatives Department. We also have a corporate college, and it is in partnership with the Texas Workforce Commission, and they provide funding opportunities through their Skills Development Fund and the Skills for Small Business Development Program, so that business does not have to pay for training. So if you want to access all of these resources and information, visit our website at hccs.edu/small-business. You should definitely check it out.
This is Mac. She's ready to build herself a house and a business. But first, she's building her resume with a construction certification from Houston Community College. HCC, for everyone, anytime.
In these times, we are all doing our share to battle the virus.
We view an attack against any faith or any ethnic group as an attack against all of us.
We're all in this together.
Many of us are immigrants. The virus affects all nationalities.
We work together.
We're all in this together.
We are all Texans.
This is Ronak. She's a mom with a physics degree, so she understands the power of momentum. And she knows that by learning English at Houston Community College, she'll be unstoppable. HCC, for everyone, anytime.
Welcome back, everyone. In this segment, we're going to continue our conversation with Moses Aku and discuss the future of his company and what he's doing to ensure that his business is viable during the COVID-19 pandemic. So with that being said, Moses, what are some tips you can give other business owners about how to navigate their business or redefine how they do their business during the pandemic?
One thing we learned firsthand in this pandemic, right, is what if scenarios. So I will tell you, if you're looking to start a business right now or you are already in business, you want to build a what if scenario, right? So what is a what if? what if something happens that you didn't plan for, right? How do you navigate it? How do you stay on business? How do you survive it? And how do you excel afterward, right? And you'll want to build it around the best and the worst case. So the pandemic is an example of the worst case, right? Everything shuts down. Nobody's going anywhere. You're running a restaurant, right? How do you stay open? How do you service your customers, right? So you saw the explosion in the e-commerce space, right? When it came to food service in that regard, we curbside deliveries, curbside pickups, to go services, right? Those who were already optimized for that, they're the ones really thriving right now. Those who had to launch a new platform or get on DoorDash or anything while it was happening, they're struggling. So it's always good to have that what if scenario built in, right? Where your sales channel is not just one unit. The other two is there's a best case scenario. You open your store today, right? And someone posts something about you and you go viral. And sales are just coming in from everywhere. I've seen businesses close down because they took on too much too quickly. Build a scenario around in such cases, right, where you really have an uptick in sales or traffic. How can you quickly bring people on board to meet those needs? How can you get vendors to supply more goods to you in order for you to sell? Those are the things we've taken into consideration. And I must say, with HCC Office of Entrepreneurship at SCORE, you guys have really done a good job in helping us see and helping us build a what if scenario into this common cookery business model itself. When it was obvious that we couldn't open the physical ghost kitchens in March like we wanted to, right? It didn't mean we had to stop business. So we're like, okay, well, let's build a platform. The platform wasn't planned for 18 months afterwards, but we have customers, right? They need avenues to sell. So we built the platform, and we're building it right now and looking to launch it in July. Like I mentioned, to at least keep engaging our audience and putting our brand name out there and also meeting customer demands.
So with that being said, because your business was around food service and a lot of the restaurants did close down and they couldn't be in the rooms with each other due to the spread of the virus, how did you have the customers available to provide the food when they closed everything down and so many of the restaurants were closed?
That's a really, really good question. For us, I know people are listening and saying, okay, well, you're not that different from the DoorDashes. With us, one of the things we really focus on is what we call resource matching, right? So a lot of our target customers on the food delivery side of the business are small mom and pop companies. They don't have the best operating processes to begin with. So one thing we did was connecting them with the extra resources that they needed. A lot of them did not even know how to go about applying for PPP loans, for instance. We pulled in financial planners and legal resources who understood how that process worked to connect them to banks and to even help them fill out paperwork to be eligible, right? So that they could even stay open. We also connected them with funding groups as well as labor groups to even be able to open their doors and even meet other demands.
So did the food shortage in the grocery stores with the hoarding, did that affect anything with the business trying to prepare the foods where they went to grocery stores and saw that people were hoarding food and it wasn't a lot of availability?
So that had an impact. The funniest thing is for the smaller independents, it didn't have as much impact as it did with your bigger chains. Your bigger chains have these locked-in supply chain systems, right? With agreements years out. They were really impacted with the shortages. With the smaller guys, they had the opposite problem of, okay, we have all this food, we don't want it to go to waste, And we told them, well, become your local neighborhood bodega. And so people are like, what do you mean by bodega? I'm like, just become your local neighborhood convenience store. People who can't make it to HEB or Kroger, right? Sell some of the produce you have. So they were lucky in that regard.
Well, that's great. That's a blessing. So I want to give you the opportunity to let everybody know what your website is and your social media. I need you to shout out for all the audience to hear where they can find out about Common Cookery and find you on your website, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are. Please tell us.
Really easy. The direct website is commoncookery.com. When you go on, you will see a tag that says is under development. As I mentioned, we're working on it right now. On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's all the same hashtag at Common Cookery. It's really easy to find. On LinkedIn, it's linkedin.com/Common Cookery. And then we do have a Slack channel as well, which is slack.com/Common Cookery as well. So really easy.
And then can you tell me what are some of the companies that you're currently working with? What type of foods that you currently have under your umbrella that you're working with, so we'll know what kind of foods you have out there for us?
Sure. We are working with food creatives that are focused on the Latin, African, Asian, Caribbean, and Middle Eastern space. There are a lot of local, well-known neighborhood eats all over Houston that we've reached out to and are really excited about being on board. A lot of them, there's like the Ala Seal. These are real local neighborhood joints. For the African side, you have the Aria and you have Com Chop. For the Latin side, we have so many of them, right? Broken all over Houston.
Well, we're going to go to your website and we're going to hear about all of the different foods that you have. I want you to know it's such a pleasure to speak with you today about Common Cookery and all the wonderful things that you're doing to help your clients. You reached out to help them with financial planning. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, I would like to leave and share a tip with entrepreneurs. And it's a very short one. One idea can turn into a future. Thank you for watching Our Community, Our Money, The Entrepreneur in You. See you next time.